Know this one thing before you do a Roth conversion. Now, my friends, I am a Roth conversion guy. I love Roths. I even wrote a book on it right here. A pamphlet size book. Look at that thin. It's chock full of freaking wonderful tidbits. 75 pages of how the Roth is a benefit to you, without question. My new book, by the way, is out. 176 pages of my new book. I love this book. I'm very proud of it. It's fantastic. You should get it, of course. Give me that sweet, sweet Jeff Bezos money. By the way, don't forget my retirement planning course is on sale for another week. Yeah, something like that. Another week, or I think it's a week. And use coupon code TAX, T-A-X. I'll put it in the show notes. Coupon code TAX. 30-day free look, dude. You don't like it, get your money back. No big deal, man. I don't care. Very, very, very few. I've probably given 5 refunds. I've sold it to thousands of people. It's a freaking great course. Oh man, I love that course. I'm proud of it. I'm proud of all my books. I'm not mostly proud. This book is love 100%. But the amount of effort, I put a lot of effort on my books. This right here though was just, oh man, it was a labor of love. Anyway, all right, so I was dealing with these couples yesterday. Now she's gonna retire from the federal government. It's just a great couple. I just love people. It's funny. I say, you're ready to retire if the husband drives a 2007 Ford F-150 and the wife drives a 2013 Toyota Camry. And that's not what they drove, but pretty close. Pretty close. I said, dude. She wears the financial pants in the house, and she's like, I just don't know if I can. And I was like, look, dude, you're fine. You're crushing. So then the question comes to Roth conversions. Now, these are federal employees, so she's got a little bit of a pension. She wasn't a federal employee since days of 21 years old, but she's been there long enough to get a decent pension. Not huge. I think $2,000 a month or something. I can't remember. But we'll take it. Hell's bells. We'll take anything we can take. Anyway, the point being was, I was like, I just don't see it. I don't see it. And I'm going to share with you why. Because when you're looking at Roth conversions, there's one thing you gotta see, and I'm going to share with you here. If it doesn't show up, it's going to be hard to justify doing Roth conversions from a financial advisor like me. You can still do them. I'm not going to yell at you. If you still want to go ahead with them, that's fine. But if you don't see this, you're going to have to come up with a different reason why you want to do Roth conversions, and that's fine. I'll tell you my own story. All right, so here's what we're looking for. So here's their tax estimate, their effective tax rate. It's freaking as smooth as a baby's bottom, dude. Look at that. Smooth, 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 smooth. It grows. Now, they live in a high-tax northern industrial state, but even that's not. 5%, their stupid governor, but look at that. So it's flat. Now, it's going up a little bit. It's going up. And you got a little bit of a widow's tax trap here. That's a jump, no doubt, but look how smooth that is. What we're looking for is this right here. But that's not enough, dude. So basically, what we want to do is we want to kind of. This isn't enough to justify Roth conversions, in my opinion. Because look, their effective tax rate is 13%. That's actually even wrong, because in the reality, their effective tax rate is lower than that. Because for some reason, Right Capital uses effective tax rate on AG, or their taxes relative to AGI as opposed to taxes relative to total income. I'm not going to get that here, but maybe I will. So if you have $100,000, just for simplicity, where's my thing? If you have $100,000 of total income, all right. My wife is out of town. I'm a mess. I am a mess. What we call in the Army a Charlie Foxtrot. We call in the Army a Sierra sandwich. If you guys know what a Sierra sandwich is, put it, comment in the comments, please. Put a 1 if you know what a Sierra sandwich is. We didn't call it a Sierra sandwich, but you know what I'm talking about. If you know what that is, put a 1 in the comments, please. All right. Anyway, so if I get $100,000 of total income, all right, and I pay $20,000 in total taxes, I have an effective tax rate of 20%. $100,000 total income, $20,000 in total tax. My effective tax rate is 20%. All right. Now, Right Capital, and I don't understand why, and I don't know if other software programs. I haven't used any other software since I've been using Right Capital, because Right Capital crushes all the other software or lushes. So now we got $100,000 of total income, but we're just going to say for simplicity, we got $20,000 of standard deductions. Now I have $80,000 of total income of AGI, $80,000 of AGI. Let's just for simplicity say we still have the $20,000 of taxes. No, just, but you won't have 20. We're just throwing numbers. We're trying to show you how it works. I can hear the peanut gallery, but you're not going to have taxes on 20,000 on 80,000. Oh, I'm just using this for example. So right capital will say your effective tax rate is 20,000 divided by 80 is 25%. And that's not right. Your effective tax rate is actually 20% because it's your total income or your total taxes divided by your total income, i.e. how much money you got left to spend. So this doesn't make any sense, but that's what right capital says. So their effective tax rate here is actually less than 13. I think it was like 9% or something. I can't remember. But it was 8% to the federal government. That's what it was. 8% to the federal government. 8.8, I think. It's just so right here we got a little bit of opportunity, but just not enough. So basically the issue is we could theoretically take some Roth conversions here, and this would reduce a little bit. It's not enough to make it worthwhile, just not. What we want to see is we want to see a Grand Canyon in here, a Grand Canyon, where we're not having, where we have, let's see if I can, I want to show you something else here too. We want to see a big drop right there. And that's sizable enough of a widow's tax draft to make it worthwhile. And it's still pretty small because he's still going to be under 20% effective tax rate, the survivor. We want this to be a big Grand Canyon. That's what we're looking for, 100%. A big Grand Canyon and a big widow's tax draft. All right, so we'll check this out. We just showed you the estimated tax, the effective tax rate. Here's the income tax bracket. And again, just even here when she's in the widow's tax draft, she's still in the 25% tax bracket. That doesn't just, it's not enough. That's what we're looking for, but we want it to be a couple over, like 4 or 5 years basically. Essentially before you take Social Security. That's what we want to see. We want to see this down here for about 4 to 5 years, a big Grand Canyon before we take Social Security. So remember, if we're in a real effective tax, right here, if we're in a real effective tax rate of about 10%, which we are, we don't want to be doing Roth conversions where we're now being taxed at 25% our federal tax bracket. You see what I'm saying? So we don't want to do Roth conversions. I hope this makes sense because I always wonder if I'm explaining this well enough. But if you're in a 10% effective tax rate, not a tax bracket, your effective tax rate, we'll just say simplicity is 10%. As I just showed you what effective tax bracket rates are. You pay $10,000 on $100,000. That's your effective tax rate. However, if we were to do Roth conversions on with just simplicity on another $10,000, and we're in a 25% bracket, all right? We're in this bracket right here. What does that do? Well, we're not going to get an effective 10% tax rate anymore. We're going to pay $2,500 on that $10,000 Roth conversions. We've essentially given ourselves a 200. Let's see, 10 divided by 25. No, not 40. 25 divided by 10. We've given ourselves a 2.5. I mean, literally, we're going from 10% effective tax rate to a 25% effective tax rate on that next $10,000 of Roth conversions. Yeah, don't do that, man. That doesn't make any sense. You're already like, dude, I'm going to sacrifice my effective 10% effective tax rate to go into a 25% bracket. I mean, literally, you're giving yourself a 250% tax increase. It doesn't make any sense, man. Because you were paying 10, now you're going to pay 25% on the next amount of money. That's the difference between marginal tax rates, is that it's the next dollar of income you have. Yeah, don't do that. So we don't want to see that. We just doesn't make any sense. What we're really looking for is now this lady, because she's a federal employee, she has a pension. Must be nice. And I hear you. Must be nice. Can people stop being so jealous of people? Stop. It's nuts. Anyway, so she had, trust me, these guys, they freaking dug ditches. You don't know what other people's lives are like. So stop just casting aspersions on, must be nice to have a pension. You don't know what people go through, man. You have no clue. So just stop. Just look at yourself. Take care of yourself. I had a guy on my YouTube channel. It's funny. He just commented. He said, I was always told, what did he say, is a 610 boater. He supposedly he's on the right wing. supposedly. Is what Rush Limbaugh used to call a seminar caller. He goes, I was always told, what did he say? I was always told to mind your own business and not worry about other people. I can't remember what he said. Something like that. But I was like, I said, why are you minding my business then on YouTube? It's funny, man. I said, I'm butchering it, but just mind your own business. Never worry about other people. Just focus on yourself. Okay, but why are you focusing on me? Because he was kind of, throwing some mud towards me a little bit. I was laughing. I said, okay, I get it. So, what was it? It was about Clarence Thomas and stupid Sonia Sotomayor, the wise Latina. So she got paid like $3 million in a book payment deal. And I said, "Where's the New York Times on this with Clarence Thomas?" And this guy, what did you guys say? He goes, "I can't remember what he said." It's just, I was like, "Dude, everyone's so pompous." Look, I'm a hypocrite. I readily admit it. In fact, even when it comes to Roth conversions, I'm an idiot because I did my Roth conversions in 2021, 2022, and 2023 when I got high income tax bracket. You know why I did it? Because I like the idea of having all my money. Was it not making it bigger? There you go. I like the idea. Am I still doing it? Yeah, okay. I like the idea of having all my money tax free, even if it costs me more tax on the front end. I like it. That's all there is to it. As a financial advisor, I can't make that recommendation because that's an emotional thing for your old buddy Josh. Emotionally, I love the idea of never having deferred money again. From a financial perspective, it was a dumb move. Don't care. My emotional perspective overweighed my financial perspective. And I'm still digging out the ditches from last year's taxes. Literally, still digging out the ditches. Digging out the grave. Because I used all my cash to pay taxes, and I was doing some other things too, so I had to go into debt to finish all this other stuff off. I'm still paying it off. I'm still doing it. I use my 1.9% Navy Federal credit card thing, and hopefully that'll be paid off here in the next 6 months. It's not a huge amount of debt, but it's enough. I'm like, I should have done that. Well, it's a water under the bridge now. I can't. They used to call recharacterization. You can't do that anymore. So I'm done. And once I get this money paid off, I'll be done. You know what I'm saying? The credit card, and then next year's taxes, I'm paying in advance. So I'm cash tight right now because I'm paying off last year's taxes because my Roth conversions, paying off next year's taxes with my Roth conversions I did in 2023. Well, I'm making pretty good income as well, so I'm cash tight. I'm cash poor and house rich, if that makes sense. And I don't like that. I don't like being like that at all. So that's not a smart move from a financial advisory perspective. But for me, as long as I can get out of the ditch of the hole I dug myself in my Roth conversion, I'm freaking loving it, dude. Because in 2 years, all that debt's paid off, I'll have no taxes ever due again from an IRS perspective in terms of my IRAs. They'll all be tax-free to me. Now, I'm only 52 years old, so that's a long way before RMDs kick in and whatnot, but still, it's going to be great. And then whatever I was using to pay this tax man back, I'll just repush into a brokerage account, VTI, Vanguard Total Index. Just capture a small amount of dividends, no capital gains, and hopefully get some capital appreciation. We see no capital gains that they distribute is what I'm saying. Anyway, so anyone who's sitting in a government perspective. Now, the nice thing about it, if you're a government employee, because you have federal employee health benefits, you don't need to worry about Obamacare so much. And so you have the ability in that regard to do Roth conversions if you have that Grand Canyon. Let me drill this a little bit better here. So again, we're looking for the Grand Canyon. All right, so we're looking for, let me just do it like this. Oops. So here you are way up here. And here you are. So this is while you're still working right here. You got FICA, you got your state, federal taxes. Here's before you retire. This is before Social Security and RMDs kick in, basically. So we have this Grand Canyon of the ability to do Roth conversions. And that's what we want to see if we're a federal employee. Now, even if you're not a federal employee, we still want to see that, but it makes it harder because now we got to worry about Obamacare. All right, so this is the issue right here. This is what we want to see. We want to see this Grand Canyon right here. And if you're a federal employee, you don't have to worry about Obamacare because you got federal employee health benefits. If you're a non-federal employee, you got to worry about Obamacare, and we got to be very, very careful because we don't want to go above, basically for simplicity, $50,000 a year of income, where we lose the Obamacare premium. So we got to be careful in doing Roth conversions. And what I tell people all the time too is, on top of that, dudes, you got money. You need the money to live on. You got to have the money come from someplace. So, in a lot of times, let's say instead of doing Roth conversions, just pull money out of your IRA or your TSP or your 401k to live on while you're waiting on Social Security to kick in. And you can do that. And once you're on Medicare, it's different. It's a whole different story. But those 5 years or so from 60 to 65, before Social Security and Medicare kick in, those are the 5 years we're really looking at. If you're again, maybe even the years before your RMDs, we really want to see you with that Grand Canyon in there. If we can see that, that's great. That means there's opportunity there. Once you're on Medicare, maybe you can defer Social Security until you're 70. Your RMDs are now pushed back to 75. So if we have that Grand Canyon, again, it makes sense. But if we're sitting like this, it doesn't. I don't see any benefit at all. I just don't. Effective tax rate. I think I even got capital. Oops, I had the capital gains rate up there as well. It's the same thing, 15%. When it's flat, tough to make it work. When it's Grand Canyon, good opportunity. If Obamacare is sitting there, that puts a little bit of a break, a stop sign there. But something we can look around for sure. All right. Don't forget to subscribe to the Doobie-Doo, to my email newsletter down below. Don't forget to go to my retirement planning course, half off for the rest of the next couple of weeks. Use promo code coupon code tax. We'll see you guys. Love your thoughts.